Hi, welcome to Raz Reviews. Today, I'm going to be reviewing The Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is directed by James Gunn, and it's basically another installment in the DCEU. It's sort of a sequel to the 2016 Suicide Squad, which nobody liked. And it's also kind of a reboot to start off this franchise again with a hopefully more popular film. It's like a boot. And it kind of acknowledges the previous films. It has characters from the previous film, but it also doesn't acknowledge everything about the other films. So it's somewhere in between, and it kind of works. And I did not miss the first Suicide Squad. I mean, I hated the first Suicide Squad so much, I kind of crapped on it in 2 reviews. So there you go. The setting is pretty much the same. You have Amanda Waller, played by the beautiful Viola Davis, and she collects inmates who have superpowers, sends them on these suicide missions where they'd have to follow what she says, and if they disobey, she blows their heads off. And it ended up being such a cool movie. It's an insane fun time, emphasis on insane. Absolutely crazy in a good way and sometimes even in a bad way. This movie is completely unhinged. There's nothing that's off the table. It just goes as far as it could possibly go, and it's kind of entertaining and refreshing. I like the fact that the Suicide Squad itself as a concept was kind of interchangeable. It's not a team like Justice League or like Avengers. I like that because it creates this unpredictability when it comes to the team, because when you're sending out the Justice League or Guardians of the Galaxy for a mission, you know they're not gonna get wiped out. But when you send out a Suicide Squad, there's a big chance they might get wiped out. Epically. So I like that because it kept me on my feet. I don't know who's gonna make it, who's not, and I knew somebody's gonna die, but there was also the question of how awesome is that death gonna be? There's a lot of creativity with these deaths. I mean, James Gunn actually goes nuts in this film. He's free from the shackles of Disney and PG-13. This movie is R-rated, very R-rated. So he gets very creative with those kills, and it's fun to see how people are gonna get killed off. And for me, entertaining deaths are things I tend to enjoy. All the performances were pretty cool. I really liked Idris Elba in this film as, British Deadshot, I guess. I really liked Polka Dot Man. John Cena was hilarious. I liked him in this a lot. The comedy was really good. Not all the jokes hit with me, but most of them did. So I had a lot of good time laughing a lot. But definitely the standout character for me is the shark, Nanawi. What a fantastic character. Sylvester Stallone pulls a Vin Diesel here and gives us a Groot-like character who's just a child, cute character. He's adorable, he's very confused, he's funny, he's not very sharp, but at the same time, he eats people. Yay for cute things that eat people. James Gunn really does a fantastic job here. This movie looks amazing, and he definitely thrives in the R-rated environment. It's extremely visual, has a lot of style. It's a very stylish film. It kind of reminds me of things like Zombieland and, Guardians of the Galaxy, but amped up to like 1,000. A big surprise for me actually was the special effects. This movie has really good special effects, and it was kind of impressive, to be honest with you. The shark skin looked amazing, and, the giant star monster was awesome. I mean, guys, this movie had Starro the Conqueror. Like, what? Crazy. I really enjoyed this movie. It's such a joyride. Just strap yourself and get ready for some insane fun. However, it was not a perfect movie for me. There are things that stood out that I wasn't a big fan of, and the number one thing was the script. Story-wise, I didn't feel like this film was as strong as I wanted it to be, especially from what I know with James Gunn and his character development abilities. I mean, when he introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy, there are a bunch of unknown characters that nobody cares about, and somehow he created lovable, memorable characters that we really connected with emotionally and cared about a lot. That didn't really happen with the Suicide Squad. Now, he did introduce really cool characters that have fun dynamics with each other, but the heart and the character development was not 100% there. He tried to do a little bit of heart with, Bloodsport and Ratcatcher. It was there, but not as strong as I would have liked, so I didn't really connect emotionally with this film. I also was not a fan of the writing for Harley Quinn. I felt like the movie didn't know what to do with her, and she was just there because it's Harley Quinn. Doesn't mean she's not fun to watch. She's awesome to watch. Margot Robbie is just legendary as Harley Quinn, and she's great here. She's fun, and watching her is pretty entertaining. But her story still felt a little disconnected from the main storyline and felt a little too random to really connect with and feel like it's an important, integral part of the plot. And another script-related issue I had was there tended to be some plot armor enveloping some of these characters, which is crazy because the movie sets you up to expect people to just die randomly, and they do, but the times they don't die seem also random. Like, why did this not kill him, but this did? It's kind of weird, and it felt like there was some plot armor, especially around Harley Quinn. Man, that girl survives some stuff like, how is that even possible? The plot itself was quite simple. It didn't need to be complicated, but I would have liked more character moments. I would have liked more backstory stuff just to keep the movie a little bit more grounded. I felt like character and story and depth took a back seat for crazy fun stuff. And the thing is, depth and character moments and emotion is something that I personally associate with DC and DC films because they are the darker type. They're supposed to be the films that try to dig a little deeper than just a bunch of explosions and a bunch of superpowers. Marvel is fun and they do fun very well, and just that's their shtick. That doesn't mean they never do character development or emotion. They do, but that's not their thing. I expect more from DC, so this does not feel like a typical DC film. Now, some people might think that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think there is a good dark DC film to be had, like the Dark Knight trilogy, like the Justice League Zack Snyder cut. You can do that, and it really sets it apart from other superhero movies. And I always like to see that in the DCEU, and I didn't see it here. So this is a great, fun superhero movie. Doesn't feel like a DC film. So the Suicide Squad is a fun, crazy, unhinged, over-the-top, massive adventure. Definitely guaranteed a fun time at the cinema. Don't expect a lot of depth. Don't take kids to this because it's very R-rated, very gory. But overall, I really had a great time with it and I enjoyed it despite some imperfections. It still was a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, I laughed my butt off and that was awesome. So I'm gonna give the Suicide Squad an 8.5 out of 10. So, have you seen the Suicide Squad? Do you prefer it to the 2016 film? Of course you do. Are you somebody who actually does like the 2016 film and you're too afraid to speak up? Feel free to reveal yourself, because that will make the comment section a lot more entertaining than it usually is. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ask me what you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!